Welcome back to my channel. This is Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts. It's time for part 3 of the quick multi-stitch mystery crochet along. We're going to do a few different tiny pieces today and putting the entire pattern together. We did these two in part 1 and part 2, so you already learned how to do mosaic crochet as well as the knit-like look, or also known as Fair Isle if you're adding pictures to it, which we chose not to. Today you're going to learn one more technique and then plus a few little extra things on the side to put the entire thing together. We're still using the exact same yarn as before, so continue on using the same colors. I'm using red and white. Red is the main color, white is the accent color. I'm using anti-pilling everyday worsted yarn from Premier. I'm also using a 4mm crochet hook. Quick reminder, if you want the written pattern to view with ads on my website, then click the link in the description and then scroll all the way down to part 3 to see the written instructions for this pattern. If you prefer an ad-free version, come join the Crochet Club, my membership that includes as a full member over 400 ad-free and printer-friendly patterns. All the patterns you see on my website plus exclusive patterns are available in my membership, and we also have new exclusive patterns every single week that I teach live on video. Now let's get started with this pattern. For the first part, you're going to do a magic ring. You should get a hang of this now because we've made a lot of these for this pattern. You're going to start with a chain of 2 and you're going to insert your hook into the first chain that you made, yarn over and pull through. This is your yarn over for the double crochet, but it's linked. So, which is why we inserted in that first chain that we made. Now insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. You made your very first linked double crochet. Now insert your hook into that horizontal bar you see. So depending on how you hold it, it is horizontal, but if you bend it this way, it's vertical, depending on how you hold it. So go through that bar instead of doing a yarn over first. So go through it, yarn over and pull through, and now insert your hook into the magic ring. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you made 2 linked double crochet stitches. Now you're going to continue on and doing them until you have 12 in total. Once you're done, you simply pull and close the hole. Pull as much as you can until it's completely closed. Then you're going to do the invisible slip stitch like before. Let go of your loop, insert your hook from the back to the front on your very first stitch, and pull that loop back. Done. Now we're going to do a chain of 2. That chain of 2 doesn't count, and it's tiny enough that you won't be able to see it very well. And we're just going to use it as a foundation in order to do our linked double crochet. So once you have your chain of 2, insert your hook into the first chain you made, yarn over, that is your yarn over for the double crochet, insert your hook into the very first stitch, and now go ahead and finish it up like a regular double crochet. We're going to do another one in the same stitch, but this time you're going to go through that horizontal bar, yarn over and pull through, insert in the same stitch, and again finish it up like a double crochet. Now we have 2 double crochets but linked, so linked double crochets in the very same stitch. Now go ahead and do that all the way around. So 2 linked double crochet stitches in every single stitch. So you go from 12 to 24 stitches in a second round. Again, finish it with a slip stitch that is invisible. So just pull it through by inserting your hook from the back to the front and pulling it to the back. Now in the following rounds, we're just going to do linked double crochet. No more increases, okay? So the very first normal round of non-increases, you're going to do a chain of 2, insert into the first chain that you made, and go into the back loop of the first stitch and make it as a linked double crochet. So go ahead and do your linked double crochets all the way around. You're going to finish it up again with a slip stitch at the very end. And then we're going to continue. You're going to do 5 more rounds in red of using linked double crochet stitches, and then you have 1 round in white so that we have this kind of structure. So that's what you're going to do and finish it up just like that. For the next part, you're going to need 1 extra color. You can choose to skip that and make it just in red, but I like to use this color for this project. You can look at the final images to determine whether you want to use it. It can be any kind of beige color. It doesn't have to be the exact same one. I used linen for it, and you only use a teeny tiny bit of this. You're going to use it twice. So for the very first one, you're going to make a magic ring, and you're going to make a chain of 1 and add 6 single crochets to the ring. So for the rest of the project, we're just going to use single crochet stitches. So it's very straightforward, but those are small and tiny pieces. Once you have 6 single crochets in a ring, close the ring. And again, use your stitch marker for continuous rounds. And we're now just going to crochet single crochet stitches. So there's no increases here whatsoever. So you're going to do 1 stitch per stitch all the way around. And you're going to do this for 2 rounds with this color. So that's 3 rounds in total, right? Because we have the magic ring, and then 2 more rounds in this color. Once you've done the 2 rounds, you're going to cut your yarn and pull it out. And you can use a needle or you can use a hook here to do an invisible join. You can pull out your stitch marker at this point, but we're going to still use it. I just want a clean transition, right? So looking at your project right here, you can see that this is the next stitch. So you're going to insert your hook into the following stitch, pull this through, and now go back to where you came from. Again, you can use a needle for that. I'm just going to use my hook and pull that loop through. So that way it imitates the stitch right underneath it, like so. Now I'm going to still use my stitch marker right here. And this yarn right here, you can weave in later. I'm just going to let it hang for a little bit. And now I'm going to insert my hook through that very first stitch right there. But first I'm going to add my loop for the next color, which is red, onto my hook. I'm going to put my needle, I'm going to put my yarn through that stitch, yarn over and pull through. I'm going to weave this in here at the same time and make a single crochet. Now go ahead and do this all the way around. So you can weave in your ends here at the same time like I do, or do it later. It's up to you. And we're still just doing 1 stitch per stitch. You're going to make sure you have 8 rounds of red. And once you're done, you're going to make 1 more. So you have 2 of these. Again, if you don't have like a beige color, you can totally make this all in red as well. It's totally fine. Or make it in white. That is totally fine as well. Now let's go to the next part. I'm going to use beige again for the next one, but I recommend if you don't have it, use red for this. We're starting again with a magic ring, and we're going to add 6 single crochets to the ring, then close the ring. Again, use a stitch marker, then crochet 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the following stitch. And then repeat that until the end of the round. So 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets. Now move up your stitch marker and now crochet 1 single crochet per stitch all the way around. Now you're going to crochet 1 more round of just single crochets. So all the way around, 1 single crochet per stitch. Once you're done, it's going to look like this. And now you have 1 more part to do, and then we're going to put the entire thing together. So for this part, you're just going to need white. So you're going to make a chain of 10, and now you're going to crochet 1 single crochet or slip stitch, it doesn't really matter in this case, into each stitch, starting from the second chain from the hook. So I'm just going to make single crochet stitches, but you can totally do slip stitches as well. This part is not going to be visible, so either one is fine. And then you're going to cut it. So you now have 9 stitches. So what you're now going to do is you're going to take your hand. You can totally take like a bigger object or something like that. I typically spread my hands about this far, and you're going to wrap it around your hand 27 times. Do not count this yarn end here, okay? So 27, because we have 9 stitches and each stitch needs 3 pieces. So 27 times all the way around your hand, and then you're going to cut it 1 time through so that it's double the size, right? That's what you're going to do. And once you're done, you're going to add it to your single crochet row that you just did. So I'm going to show you my last one right here that I haven't done. So what you're going to do is for every single stitch, you're going to take 3 of these. You're going to fold them in half. They don't have to be all even, but roughly even. Make a loop like so. And I'm going to do it for my last one here so you can see it. You're going to do that all the way around for every single one. You're going to insert your hook like so. You're going to pull this through. You can use a bigger hook if needed. Then you're either going to wrap this around and pull it through if you can, or with a bigger hook, or you just simply take your hands and then pull it through. And now they are all next to each other like this. And now it's time to assemble this, the entire project. So you can cut this to look better once it's all assembled. You can also use a brush to brush this out. That is totally fine as well. I might actually do that just so make it look good. So you can leave it like this and then trim it later, or you can use a brush to brush this out to make this turn into an actual beard. The top part right here is not going to be visible. We're going to hide it behind the hat. So let me show you how that looks like. Once you have it brushed out, it's going to look like this. It's a lot more fluffy. Now I'm going to trim this once I have it attached to my piece. So now let's assemble it. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to sew it behind here. So wherever you want to sew it onto, that is up to you, like so. So this part right here is not shown. It's kind of behind the hat, and this is just hanging down. So let me sew this on so you can see how this looks like. So you're just going to go back and forth and sew it on. I recommend putting your stitches in a way that it's not so visible that you sewed this on. So you can just go through here into the next stitch, so it kind of hides it that you just did that. So this kind of hides it a little bit. So back and forth and just sew it on. Let's take these two guys and sew them on right here, literally right here on the side. Okay, so I have it attached to the hat, and you'll see momentarily why. So you're going to squeeze this down so you know exactly where it's half, and then you're going to sew it from the inside here, or on the outside if you prefer, but I'm going to do it slightly on the inside and sew it right onto these corners. So right here is where I'm going to sew on the very first one. There's no stuffing inside of this arm, so I'm just going to go back and forth here and sew onto the white, but not going through. Make sure the red part is not shown here on the outside if you use the last few rounds here in white. And it's going to look like this. And then now you're going to take this guy right here. You can stuff this if you want to, or you can put some kind of gift inside of here, because we're going to take some white yarn, and you're just going to wrap it around like so. Do it around where the white part is, and then squeeze just a little bit, squeeze it, add a little tie, and now you have a little tiny Santa sack. Make sure that the white is by the red part so it looks kind of cute like this. Now the very last thing we need to do is you're going to need to take your big piece right here, and now you need to determine, are you going to stuff it and put this guy on top and sew it on, or are you going to, so it would be like this, I'm not going to stuff it, but if you are, it would be like this. You put it inside, right? And you're going to sew all the way around. You have to determine whether you want the red side on the outside or the white one. I'm going to have the red one on the outside for now. If you want it permanently, you can now sew this guy on all the way through. Okay, so there's the little nose. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a glass. You can also use plastic canvas if you prefer. I'm just going to use a glass for now. Okay, and put it like this. So the glass happens to fit right in there. Okay, so this is just a small drinking glass. You're going to take the hat and kind of place it right over like so. It's going to look like this. Okay, so this way, and then you're going to take the nose and sew it on only to the top. Okay, it's going to move around a little bit, so you may have to glue it here onto the actual beard so it doesn't move around. Okay, so I'm just going to sew it to the top part right here of the hat, so at least it's stable, and then I'm going to glue on the rest. And then it's going to look like this. So as I said, have a glass inside because it allows me to turn this piece inside out. So that means if I wanted to take this off and flip it the other way around to have the white on the outside, then I can do so with the glass. Plus, it allows me to not only have a different look of my little gnome here, but it also allows me to hide some stuff, whether it is candy or something else. You can put that inside the glass, or as I said, you can also use plastic canvas, whatever you want to use to stabilize this and have your little gnome for decoration like so. And you can now also shape here your beard a little bit. You can put a little, tie on the bottom if you like. I'm just going to leave it like this, but my little gnome also has a little Santa bag because you can hide something in there as well if you like. And for this mystery crochet along, you not only made a gnome, so you learned how to crochet the mosaic crochet stitch or the mosaic crochet technique overlay, as well as reversible. You also learned how to do the knit-like stitch, or also known as the waistcoat stitch, many different names for this one. And you learned how to do linked crochet. But there are so many more stitches that you can learn and implement onto patterns. You can substitute certain ones. As you've seen, we used here linked crochet for the double crochet, so we don't have any gaps in between. So you don't always have to do double crochet. You can do linked double crochet, or in this example, you can use single crochet or the waistcoat stitch. The waistcoat stitch is a little bit more sturdy, so it keeps the hat standing up. But some people prefer the single crochet. It's up to you. But there's so many more stitches I want to talk to you about. So make sure you're going to join our live tomorrow that talks all about all the different stitches, like different stitch techniques, stitches, different types of patterns, all kinds of things. Plus a mega huge surprise that you have never seen me do before. Come to our live tomorrow. The replay will be available as well, but you want to watch this because I have never done something like this before and I'm really, really excited about it. So there's a mega big surprise happening tomorrow. So come join us so I can show you what I'm talking about. It's huge, like seriously huge. So come join us for that. In the meantime, finish up your little gnome, take a picture with the corresponding hashtag and post it into the Facebook group Crocheting with Nikki. You can be one of 3 winners to win something very, very special. So you will see that all tomorrow. Come join us at the special event, huge multi-stitch crochet party. I'll see you then. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I'm publishing a video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. You're gonna want to, I promise you do.